So anyway, I had another episode of P-Shart. The title of the episode was Mercy. Yeah. Oh, there's no mercy. So, Picard and the fake Guinan got busted by this guy who had video of at least Picard beaming into the street. Well, you get a little flashback scene of a kid being chased through the woods, and he falls down, and then when he gets up, there's two Vulcans towering over him. So, can you guess who the kid was? Yes, it was this police officer who's been obsessed with aliens ever since. So that's why he's interrogating them, because he thinks they're aliens. And he's not far wrong. Picard's not an alien. Well, I guess he kind of is now that he's really just an android. But Guinan was definitely an alien. So he wasn't far off, but, So he eventually tells Picard that story, and then Picard,
"Oh, they were Vulcans, and they tried to mind meld with you."
And so the guy says, "Really? Oh, you know what? I'm going to help you out." Turns out he was booted from the police department for being a crackpot. So, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But in the meantime, the Guinan was in the other interrogation room, and then suddenly this FBI agent walks in, but it's Q. And that's, it took him that long to get around to her summons, see? Yeah. So anyway, Q, she goes, "Oh my God, you're dying." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm dying." For some reason. He doesn't know. He said, "Oh, I thought this would be a new experience," which I guess it would be. But his powers don't work. At least not as well as they used to be. He didn't mean for Picard to go back in time. It doesn't matter. That was the amount of footage they had of John Delancey. So he showed up and did his part and left. That's that. Meanwhile, Dr. Sung has gone from a desperate father who, was pushed and compelled to try to stop Picard and ran him over with a car and all that. Well, it turns out he's a mad scientist and he's really evil, and he doesn't really care about his daughter that he cooked up in a lab. Apparently, he cooked up quite a few of them, but she's the only one who survived because he just wants the fame and glory for having created this woman out of a test tube. So he bad. And stupid Raffi and Seven bicker and fight. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's typical soap opera dialogue of forced crap that happens between them. Then you get a flashback of Raffi making sure that Elfnor stays in the Federation when he had an offer to leave or whatever. And that's why he's dead. No, he's dead because of Q's manipulation of time, dummy. So anyway, that's her deal. They finally tracked down Agnes, who's the Borg Queen now, and she was eating a bunch of batteries out of cars. And she kicks their ass because, she's Borg Queen. And they get their asses handed to them, so she walks away. Later on, she shows up at Dr. Sung's place after his daughter, "I'm done with you, Dad." And she takes the cure from Q. Q sends her the cure. And she's like, "I'm free to go." And so she walks out of the house into the outer world. And but of course, it looks like the same supposed cure that Q sent before, which only lasted for a couple of minutes. So I guess she'll be dead within a few minutes. Not that it really matters, because Sung's got other things to worry about. He goes back to the house, I guess, drinks himself asleep, and then Agnes shows up and tells him that he'll be remembered as the greatest scientist ever if they maintain the dark future that Picard is trying to change. So he's like, "Well, I'm all for that." And so then she says, "Hey, I need an army of mercenaries." So he apparently has connections. So you got a bunch of guys and gear and stuff. And then she turns them all into Borg sentries. And there you go. They're going to storm the ship, which is really sad because meanwhile Rios is hitting on the sexy doctor and having the replicator make tasty cakes for her and her son, and they're just having a good old time just sitting around doing that on the ship, not knowing the horrible threat that approaches. So there you go. Yeah, that's about it. I was gonna say, it's like, in some aspects it's better than season 1, but why say it? Yeah. Interestingly enough, with the Vulcans showing up and having met this guy, he's like, looks like to be in his 50s now. So this was a long time ago when he was a little kid, and the Vulcans, he stumbled onto these 2 Vulcans who, I don't know, their ship got damaged or something, and then they managed to leave after they mind melded with him, supposedly to make him forget, but it didn't work. Well, remember Enterprise? Yeah. Now, Enterprise, and I thought this was a dumb idea because there's not enough time in between, but they presented as the Vulcans didn't know they could do that, and they thought it was a myth from their past, and they had to kind of relearn it with DePaul figuring it out or whatever. So how did these Vulcans know it? Perhaps they're time travelers too. And if you wanted to fix this, then they would show up again, like they're somehow involved in all this, but no, they're not gonna. They're pretty stupid. So, but then again, maybe. But yeah. So I don't know. These Vulcans figured it out and used it, and this never told anybody else. I guess that's how that works. Now, again, I thought that was one of the mistakes of Enterprise. I mean, if you were going to say that, it would have been a much earlier date, but there's only so far you can go, and yeah, whatever. Anyway, peace, Sharp.